Good morning, church.
Good morning.
I don't feel no waste time.
Yes.
I've come too far from where I'm starting from.
Yes.
Nobody told me the road would be easy, and I don't believe he brought me this far to leave me. Black History Month. It's been a Black history for 55 years. For as long as I've been on this earth, I've been black. Miss Araminta Ross. Have anyone ever heard of Araminta Ross? Araminta Ross, nicknamed Minty, was born on the Eastern Shore in Dorchester County, Maryland, as a slave around 1822. Now, we're not sure the month she was born, but we believe it was in early spring, around March. Now, as a child, she was often beaten, and at 12, Araminta was hit in the head by a heavy metal weight. This injury caused seizures, and she also started experiencing strange visions, which she ascribed to be premonitions from God, which led her to become devoutly religious. Now I want you all to think about 90 miles. 90 miles. 90 miles is about from here to King's Dominion. So how do you all get to King's Dominion? What you gotta use? You drive your car, climb the control vehicle, listening to your favorite music. It'll take you about an hour and a half. Well, Araminta Ross escaped slavery in around 1849 at 27 years old. She went from Dorchester County to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, which is about 90 miles.
Yes, Lord.
Oh, but her 90 miles was a little bit different. Araminta Ross walked her 90 miles. Not only did she walk her 90 miles, she walked her 90 miles at night because she wanted to follow the North Star. Not only did she walk at night, she walked in the dead of winter because the nights were longer. During the day, she would eat wild plants, cornmeal, rabbits, possum, and she would hide in the woods and marsh. Araminta also utilized the Underground Railroad, which was a system composed of free and enslaved black people, white abolitionists, and Quakers. Her trip took in between 5 days and 3 weeks. When she got to Philadelphia, she said, "When I found I had crossed that line, I looked at my hands to see if I was the same person. There was such a glory over everything. The sun came like gold through the trees and over the fields, and I felt like I was in heaven."
Yes.
Congress passed the Fugitive Slave Act of 1850, which forced law enforcement officials to assist in the capture of escaped slaves. But by that time, Araminta Ross was lonely in Philadelphia. All her family and friends were back in Maryland. So she planned to go back and free them all. Now, she didn't have kids because in those times, the kids took the status of the mother. So if the mother was a slave, the child was a slave. The mother was free, the child was free. But when she got back, her husband, who was a free man, who she had married in 1844 by the name of John Tubman, had already remarried. So by the time the Civil War had started in 1861, where she served as a cook, nurse, and an armed scout, Araminta Ross, or as we know her, Harriet Tubman, had made 13 trips and freed over 70 slaves as far as Canada. And because of her efforts, she received the nickname Moses. Now, how did she do it? The first thing, she did it in the winter months. Second thing, she would sing spirituals and she would change the words and tempo to let the slaves know what she wanted them to do. And third, she would do it on a Saturday because a newspaper printed the runaways on Mondays. And she had a little trickeration in her also. She would wear bonnets and walk around with live chickens. And then when the enslavers would come, she would act like the chickens got loose so she wouldn't look them in the eyes or they wouldn't see who she was. And she was dressed as a man. And from what we hear, they would tease the little black woman who was dressed as a man and make fun of her because they said, why is that black man so small? Why is he so little? She would also use her light-skinned friends to make like all the people that were around her was their slaves, but it was actually her friends. And she was illiterate, so when they would see her, she would grab a newspaper to make like she was reading. And she would also use the Underground Railroad. Tubman's faith was another important resource. She spoke of consulting with God and trusted that he would keep her safe. It once was said of her, you will never meet with any person of any color who had more confidence in the voice of God as spoken direct to her soul. She carried a revolver as protection from slave catchers and their dogs. Tubman also threatened to shoot anyone who tried to turn back, since that would risk the safety of the remaining group as well as anyone who helped them on the way. Tubman spoke of one man who insisted he was going to go back to the plantation. She pointed a gun at his head and said, go on or die. Several days later, the man who wavered crossed into Canada with the rest of the group. Harriet Tubman died on March 10th, 1913, in a nursing home for the aged, a nursing home for African Americans in Auburn, New York. A nursing home that she purchased and founded in 1859. Frederick Douglass once said, most that I have done and suffered in the service of our cause has been in public. And I have received much encouragement at every step of the way. You, on the other hand, have labored in a private way. I have wrought in the day, you in the night. The midnight sky and the silent stars have been the witnesses of your devotion to freedom and of your heroism. I know of no one who has willingly encountered more perils and hardships to serve our enslaved people than you have. Yeah. I believe I heard about the trains I had, yes I had. Ooh. People get ready, there's a train a-coming. Don't need no baggage, you just get on board. All you need is faith to hear the diesels humming. Don't need no ticket, you just thank the Lord. So people get ready for the train to Jordan, picking up passengers coast to coast. So faith is the key, open the doors and board them. There's hope for all among those I love the most. Oh, there ain't no room for the hopeless sinner who would hurt all mankind just to save his own. Believe me now, have pity on those whose chances grow thinner, for there's no hiding place against the king's throne. Oh, people, get ready. There's a train coming. I believe. So people, get ready. There's a train coming. Yeah. Don't need no baggage. You just get on board. All you need is faith to hear the diesel humming. Don't need no ticket. You just thank the Lord.